happy Monday. So last night we got back from our cruise, and I don't know if you can hear it in my voice or not, but not doing my best. We had a wonderful trip. Everything went great. I will recap it all on the podcast, but I feel like I've just come down with somewhat of a head cold. I feel like that's a little inevitable given how close on a cruise ship everybody is. I don't know if I'm going to make it on my Peloton today. I guess we'll see how it goes later in the day, give myself a chance to wake up a little more and see how I'm feeling. And technically, I do need to go to Trader Joe's this week, but I don't know if I have it in me, so I might just pop out to ShopRite for a few essentials because it's closer. And we also are supposed to have a heat wave over the next 3 days. It's supposed to be in the high 90s here, so I'm just mentally preparing myself for that as well. But yeah, we're gonna unpack, we're gonna do a quick trip out to the grocery store, and we're gonna attempt to get back into a routine and have a good and productive week. Oh boy, I am really struggling this morning. But I did my laundry and I went to the grocery store to get the bare necessities, which was really just stuff for breakfast the next few days, a soup for lunch, and then a few things to make some pasta for dinner tonight because I think that's mentally all I can handle. But the good news is I went through most of my emails yesterday at the airport in San Juan, so I'm only down to a handful of emails right now. So I feel okay about that, but I have no idea where I'm at on my July goals. I feel like I didn't do a single thing, which sometimes that just happens. I think that's why we set, quarterly goals to give ourselves more time to actually get things done. Plus there's just some other stuff going on too that's not work related. I'll fill you guys in at some point. So really I'm just trying to figure out what are my priorities for the next few days, which I think will include setting some August goals. I want to record an episode of the podcast this week recapping the cruise / talking about my first impressions of the cruise. I am also planning to take another week-long break off of social media soon, but I want to do a whole separate vlog about an offline week in my life, so be sure to subscribe and stick around if you want to see that coming up in a few weeks. And then I also want to post some content from the cruise, so I'm planning 2 reels. One was my daytime outfits that was kind of bathing suits and cover-ups, and the other was more evening outfits what I wore to dinner. And some quick reading updates. I did manage to finish one book on the cruise. This is Square Waves by Alexandra Romanoff, and I gave this 4 out of 5 stars. It's another 831 Stories novella, and I think what I'm realizing with the novellas is I really like getting into the stories, but then I am still left wanting a little bit more. So for me, there wasn't quite enough character development and that depth there for me to get it to a 5-star rating for me, but I enjoyed the story and the setup. I feel like this is a pretty unique situation if you read it. I kind of don't want to give too much away to spoil it, but obviously you can look up the plot. I will leave a link to this book down below. And I really liked both the male and female main characters in this book, and I thought it was really creative. So definitely a good quick read for me. I feel like I inhaled this book. I feel like I finished it in just a handful of days, which was great. I did not end up cracking into Bad Summer People because I actually lent the book to my mother-in-law on the trip, and she read it on the trip and handed it back to me on the plane on the way home. So I will hopefully read this soon coming up. I was just texting with Francesca. We were supposed to get dinner tomorrow, and I feel like a zombie, and I don't want to catch up with her when I feel like a zombie, so she kindly rescheduled with me for next week, and that way I can hopefully just like lay low for a couple of days here and get better. But yeah, I think I'm gonna give myself permission to like work from the couch a little bit today and just kind of ease back into the week. Just heated up some chicken noodle soup, and I am watching my friend Floor's Nantucket vlog. I actually was invited on this trip. A bunch of the girls from book club went, but it was during the same time that we were in Italy for Nora's wedding. If you guys haven't seen the Italy vlog, I will link it up in the iBar and in the description box. That was a fun trip, but I'll also link Floor's Nantucket vlog, and I think Lauren might have vlogged Nantucket as well. I am so behind on YouTube. I have so many videos to catch up on since being away, so I'm making my way like through my watch later list right now. I'm gonna take my little lunch break right now, and then I do think I have some packages that came in, and I want to get working on my podcast outline. I'm moving a little slowly today, to be very honest, but you know what? It's just one thing at a time. So we're gonna eat, we're gonna get the packages, and then we will get into working on the outline. I was watching Amber Burns, one of her latest vlogs, while I was folding my laundry, and Amber is one of my favorite YouTubers to watch. I will link her channel down below, and she recently hit 10,000 subscribers, so that is such an exciting milestone. I'm super excited for her, and I thought I'd quickly show you what I got in the mail. So first I have a package from Bubble Skincare, and I am testing this product for an upcoming story. I haven't tried anything from Bubble yet, but I love their branding and just their overall vibe. Look, my order came with this cute little booklet and then also some fun stickers. I remember when Glossier did stickers, I think they still do stickers, and that was like the hot thing to get the seasonal sticker for that month. I always find it fun when brands do stuff like that. But anyway, the product that I'm going to be testing is the Daydream Tone and Texture Vitamin C and Niacinamide Serum. I feel like that is a dream combo for my skin, which is typically normal to dry. So I also need to take my before picture for this probably today, even though I feel like actual trash. And then I also got a package from Merit. I've been wanting to try Merit for a long time. It's like the sister brand of Versed, but every time that I heard from them, there were always a lot of strings attached. Like once they offered to send me a makeup bag, but I had to create like 2 reels in order to receive the products. And then there was another time that they sent me some form that had a perpetual usage clause in it for a gifted partnership, and to me that just never made any sense. I've done videos on my channel before where I talk about gifted partnerships and how you want the value of the gift itself to be worth the amount of work and effort that you put in to create the content. So I have a lot of thoughts on that. I'll link a video where I explain it far more eloquently than I would on a day where I'm feeling just absolutely stuffed. But they finally DM'd me with no strings attached to try this new product. So this is the Great Skin Double Cleanse Face Wash, and I honestly might swap this for the cleanser in my shower right now, which is the Ulta MD Foaming Cleanser. I just feel like it's not actually cleaning my skin. So not my favorite Ulta MD product, but I have been loving all of the sunscreens that I've tried from them. We brought one with us to the Caribbean, and my face is not burned, and I do believe that is the result of using the Ulta sunscreen. So I'm super excited to try this. Those are the 2 packages that I got in while I was away. And I think it's probably time to stop procrastinating and start writing my podcast outline. Got a pretty solid draft of the podcast outline. Oh my god, Andrew's birthday balloon. We were shocked when we came back and saw it was still floating. But I just noticed it in the back of the vlog footage. That's so funny. Don't get me wrong, it's a little deflated, but the fact that it's still floating literally 2 weeks later is pretty impressive. And now I'm gonna move on to scheduling out some short form content. My hope is to tag all of these individually on LTK, post reels and TikToks of like all of the outfits stitched together, and then also cross share them on Pinterest, because Pinterest is where I found a lot of cruise inspiration photos. That's actually a secret board that I made for myself on Pinterest before leaving for the cruise. And, you know, not every single one of these like came to fruition, but I did find it helpful to have some ideas to scroll through for this trip. And I did also want to do a photo carousel of just some of my favorite photos from the trip. So I think my plan is to schedule those out for today, tomorrow, and Wednesday. So I have some consistent content, because I actually have not posted on Instagram since, oh my god, it's been 10 days since my last post, which I feel like never happens, but frankly, I feel like I needed a break. I have just had my accounts for so long, and I've been consistent for so long, and trying new things and doing all of this stuff that you're supposed to be doing, and sometimes you just look at your analytics and you get so discouraged. So I want to make sure that when I do post, I'm posting stuff that excites me and that I'm proud of creatively. And I probably will do some of that now and then a little bit later while I watch Bachelor in Paradise, because yes, I'm still watching. Is anyone out there still watching? Because I feel like the Bachelor franchise is just very much on the decline lately. I feel like there's very few out here who have made it through like all of the COVID bubble seasons and all of the controversy, all of the many changes that have been made in the last few years. And I do not blame anyone who has ditched the franchise whatsoever. I'm just like too deep in the lore now to give up at this point. I'm gonna put a podcast on and get started with this product tagging on LTK, so hopefully by the time this video goes up, all of my outfits from the cruise will be linked on LTK. If I can't find exact items, I always try to link similar ones, so you can check that out, and we'll go from there. Okay, my linking is in progress. I'm gonna take a quick break to do just 15 minutes on my Peloton. I really don't want to break my streak or miss a day. And then we're gonna make dinner, and then I will continue on with my work from the couch. Tuesday morning, just got back from Trader Joe's. I'm gonna do a quick Trader Joe's haul for TikTok, and then I'll show you guys what I got, but I gotta move fast because I feel like things are melting. Okay, to quickly show you what I got this week, I grabbed things for 3 weeknight dinners that I'm gonna make. So I already had one of these Thai wheat noodles from Trader Joe's here, and then I just picked up some steak to go in it, and then the frozen Asian stir-fry veggies. Literally, this is so easy to heat up.
And then I'm also gonna use some of the Trader Joe's General Tso's sauce that I already have in there. Now I'm gonna try something kind of new this week. I'm gonna make a Greek marinated chicken. I feel like this will be easy to prep and I feel like it'll taste good. So I got some Greek yogurt, chicken, a shallot and lemon for the marinade. And then I got some sweet potatoes to make as a side and some frozen broccoli to make as a side. I got the organic jasmine rice. This literally takes 3 minutes to microwave. Chunky guac, pico de gallo, and the pollo asado to make pollo asado bowls. And I also got a bell pepper that I can chop up and throw in. And then I got a bunch of stuff kind of to prep for meals for next week. The roasted potatoes and the frozen pastas at Trader Joe's. I like having these in the freezer just to use for sides of different dishes. So I could make like a chicken or a steak or a salmon and then have this as a side. Got a couple little snacks and sweet treats, some mango and some carrots. All right, and I should really start putting all this stuff away before it fully melts. So that is the haul. We're gonna get on with our day. I threw in another load of laundry this morning, and then we need to get set up to record the podcast. And I'm feeling a little bit better. I feel less congested, which is great. And I don't think I sound as bad as I sounded yesterday. So we're just gonna lay low, lock in, and get some stuff done. This week on the podcast, I'm giving you the full rundown of my first ever cruise. And I'm thinking in my head, surely they know when our ship is leaving. Like, we have to make it back on time, because what's gonna happen if we get stranded? Delayed because someone tried to bring a bird on board and claim it was a service animal, and oh my god. But by night 3, I was like, oh, we are on a ship. We are on a boat. And that's where I reached for the motion sickness stickers. Podcast recording is done. I just made some shrimp dumplings for lunch, and I am watching Bachelor in Paradise now because I just got chatting with Andrew last night, so we were just catching up, which sounds silly. We were literally just on vacation together, but we were with, you know, his whole side of the family, so it was more so just like catching up the two of us and talking about like other random stuff. This afternoon, I want to start scheduling out some of the cruise content because I finished tagging all my outfits on LTK, so that should be ready to go. Then of course we also need to start editing the podcast, but I'm mostly just hiding inside right now because I think it's like 95 or 97 out. So normally I would love to go to a coffee shop to do some editing, but given that I'm not feeling well and also how hot it is, I'm just gonna like lay low. And I talked for way longer than intended for the podcast, so hopefully I can edit it down so it's not like too long. Is there such a thing as a too long podcast? Like for my favorite podcasts, I could really listen to the hosts talk pretty much forever. And I am also someone who can start and stop a podcast at any time. Like if a podcast is an hour and a half, I don't need to finish it all in one sitting. I am just as likely to pause it whenever I need to pause it, and then I'll just circle back and pick up whenever I have a minute again. Is that how you guys are, or do you look at a podcast that's like an hour long and say, I don't have an hour right now, I'm not gonna listen to it? I'm curious, as a new podcaster, well, it's been over a year. I still feel like a new podcaster though. As a new-ish podcaster, I'm curious to hear what you think. It's a few hours later. I've just been working from the couch for a little bit, and I got my first real live with my cruise outfits. I think it came out pretty cute. I will link to it in the description box. I also probably will schedule this out on shorts at some point, but I'm not sure when. I actually have shorts scheduled out through September, so that's exciting. Proud of that.
I feel like the main reason for that is I currently post shorts like every 3 to 4 days, which I feel like is a decent cadence because my main goal with YouTube is to grow through my long form content. And I also have everything fully linked on LTK. I'm almost wondering if I should do a blog post with this because, oh my god, I am on such an embarrassing hiatus from the blog. I think I've published like 1 blog post in the last 6 weeks, and normally I do 1 a week, so I'm feeling very behind on that, but it's just the thing that I have felt okay taking a step back from. Like YouTube, I think if I missed a week, I would feel worse about that, and same thing with the podcast. The blog, obviously, it's best when I am consistent, but currently I have a lot of old posts driving traffic right now, and actually I think there was some kind of Google update on July 7th because I did notice an uptick in traffic from that, which is obviously good, and that means that like things are happening even when I'm not actively publishing new content. So yeah, that's just kind of what's floating around in my brain work-wise right now. And I also still need to write a newsletter to promote my YouTube video from last week. I also feel so behind with my newsletter right now, but I have to say it has already been a great help having Priya, my virtual assistant, who is helping me with podcast stuff on board, because that's just like one less set of posts that I need to oversee from start to finish. Like she's really taken on a lot of the selection of clips and then actually scheduling them out on all the various platforms. So that has been really helpful. And yeah, so I guess I would say my goals for the afternoon are to schedule out or like get all of the reels and TikToks ready for the rest of the week with all of my cruise content, and then hopefully also to write a newsletter promoting last week's YouTube video and or get a draft going for a blog post about what I packed for the cruise and what I actually wore when we were on the ship. I also feel like I really need a haircut. I was gonna get one before I leave, but I was testing a hair mask for Birdie. The deadline was like the day before we left for the cruise was when the test ended, and I didn't want to, this isn't the right word, but like contaminate the test, if you know what I mean, by like cutting my hair when the whole point was to see what impact the hair mask had in terms of growth and moisture and taming frizz and all of those different components. So I am gonna DM Liz on Instagram and ask when she might have time to see me, and this would be at the new Spoken Wheel. I actually haven't been there yet. I know they moved at some point, so I want to DM her and see if she can fit me in just sometime in the coming weeks. I'm gonna feed myself a snack and continue to chip away at my to-do list. It's 5:30 now. An hour and a half ago, I made the marinade for the chicken from Trader Joe's that I was showing you this morning. So I took the chicken breasts, I sliced them in half, and I'm marinating them in the fridge right now in some Greek yogurt, lemon juice, garlic powder, salt and pepper, and I chopped up the shallot and put that in there as well. So that has been sitting for about an hour and a half. I just preheated the oven to 400 degrees, and I have chopped 2 sweet potatoes and put it on this baking tray. So I am going to, actually there might be a thing in this because this is my first graza. I got this from the Tastemaker Agency gifting suite that I went to, so that was super exciting. And so I'm just drizzling some olive oil on here. I also already put the olive oil spray from Trader Joe's on the bottom of the pan. Wow, that definitely makes it super easy to drizzle on. And I'm also going to do a little bit of garlic powder, salt, pepper, and also paprika. That looks delicious. So these need to bake for 45 minutes, and I have the oven at 400 degrees. I think I'm gonna drop it to 350 when I put the chicken in, so even more reason to get these going now. Andrew is on his post-work run, so when he comes back, I think he's gonna be like low-key impressed that I'm making this meal tonight. I feel like he has low expectations because I haven't been feeling my best the last 2 days, but I feel like this is one of those meals that feels impressive but doesn't actually take that much work. Because it's literally 3 ingredients. It's like the chicken, the sweet potatoes, and then I'm gonna put some broccoli in the air fryer.
And I feel like it's worth mentioning, I'm kind of just winging this from a bunch of different like corners of the internet and places of inspiration. So there's not like a real recipe. I'm just trying to like describe it as best I can. And I think we're gonna watch Succession tonight. We've been rewatching Succession. Andrew was like, can I put on episode 1 of Succession? This was a few weeks ago. And I was like, yes, but I cannot get sucked back into the series. Like, that's such a big time commitment. There's so much other stuff to watch. We're almost done. Once again, we've made it to the end of season 4 essentially, so I think there's only 1 or 2 episodes left, and I've really been enjoying it as a rewatch. I forgot that that was just such like a specific moment in time, and I'm not mad about it. So that is what is on the agenda for dinner, and then I might do a little bit of light work in the evening. Good morning from the floor because I just did the Peloton and I'm a little sweaty. So I normally just shower straight after, but I was just thinking, actually, let me back up. The chicken last night, I feel like the flavor was there and it was definitely like juicier than chicken normally is, but there was still something about the texture that like wasn't quite right. So I know I was mixing a bunch of different like recipes, like kind of making up the marinade by myself and then not really doing the best like timing maybe with the chicken, and I don't know. So I will continue to try to find a good marinade that works because I feel like the flavor was right, but still just something about the chicken wasn't quite what I was picturing, if that makes sense. I'm sitting here on the floor after doing my Peloton workout because I have been feeling a little down about July goals and feeling like I didn't quite like get done what I wanted to get done. And I feel like part of that was also just like we had a big trip in the middle of the month and, you know, things get a little bit staggered during the summer, but I'm here for the majority of August, barring like one weekend that I'm away. So I was wondering if I could maybe do some kind of like, not challenge, but just like make an actual plan and stick to it. Because long story short, we got the Peloton, I want to say in either 2021 or 2022. And whatever it was for the first year that we had it, I was using it, but I don't think I was like using it to its full potential. But in the year leading up to our wedding, like from December 2022 through most of 2023, I was like on my shit with the Peloton. Like I was really in a routine. I was doing longer rides. I was like beating my own PRs and getting better and better. And I just haven't really felt that progress in a while. And, you know, I don't look like what I looked like when I was 25. Things change over the years and I'm like happy with my body overall compared to how I felt like a couple of years ago. But I do just personally want to like get stronger and continue to be consistent, especially given that I have the bike and it's so easy for me. And I've been consistent in terms of like I still show up 3 times a week to do my Peloton rides, but I've been kind of lenient about like the time that I'm spending on them. They've added YouTube and Netflix to the Peloton, so sometimes I'm like watching something versus taking advantage of the subscription that I pay for every month. So I kind of wanted to like actually put a plan in place for August and work around the weekend where I'm not here, and also add back in a little bit of core and strength training because I did attempt a core class a few weeks ago in a vlog. I will link it in the description if you missed that one. I would like to be better about being consistent and feel better when I finish a workout because I feel good. I mean, I just rode the bike for 20 minutes. I mean, I hit the minimum bronze tier for the month, which is like riding 50 miles and being active for at least 10 days. So it's not like I'm not doing stuff. I just feel like I could be getting more out of it. And they say accountability is a good way to reach your goals. What I was doing before, like in the months leading up to the wedding, was actually making a mini like calendar for myself in Canva and actually like crossing it out, like printing it out and crossing it out with a pen when I was done. And I feel like that might be a good way to go about the August goals as well, to basically just like take that template and recreate it. So the goal will be to do 3 rides a week, make sure 2 of them are actually Peloton classes, and then when I do a long ride on Saturday mornings, typically I would give myself permission to like watch YouTube or watch Netflix and add in a 15-minute core class once a week. I feel like that's so reasonable. Okay, well, that was some early morning ramblings from me. I'm gonna shower, make a coffee, and get into the workday. I did make some good progress on the blog post last night. I just have to go in and add all of the affiliate links and maybe add a little bit more to the intro just to add in a couple more like keywords and make sure that it's ready to go. But I'm so relieved to be publishing a blog post this month because I have been, as I said, like kind of slacking on the blog. And I don't want to be, it's just a matter of realistically like how much time I have to do things in a given day. So my blog post is published and the podcast is edited. Well, the video podcast is edited, I should say. I just have to add the intro and outro for the audio. That can go up tomorrow as it does every Thursday, which is great. And I just had lunch and I'm getting ready now. I actually have an appointment in Jersey City this afternoon, and it's in kind of an odd part of Jersey City. Normally I can easily take like some kind of form of public transit, like the light rail or even a bus, but I am just gonna Uber there so that I'm on time. So that is in like an hour, so I'm just doing some very light makeup before that, and then I, on my way back, just need to stop at like either CVS or some drugstore or something to get a couple of cards and also to get more Sudafed because now I think Andrew might have what I had. I've been happy not to leave the apartment the last few days because this heat wave we've had has been kind of insufferable. It's 93 right now, but it says it feels like 96, but I think we're getting the rain tomorrow, and then actually this weekend looks so pleasant. And honestly, that is getting me through. I have my friend's housewarming this weekend. I think we might even try to squeeze in like a morning on the boat, and I have some stuff to drop off for my mom, so we might stay over there one night too. I'm proud of myself for like jumping into work today and getting things done. I made my little bike schedule too, as you guys saw, so I'm hoping to start off August on a good note. And it's just so crazy that we're already at that point in the summer where it's like, oh my god, summer, it's almost over. Like it was starting and then it was going and it was like, yeah, maybe later this summer. And then it's like later this summer is now. I'm just doing some very light makeup. I think I'm gonna fix my hair, just like redo this bun, but just make it a little bit more chic. As you can see, there's some questionable things happening in the back of my head right now. And I also got pretty much most of my short form content scheduled out for the rest of this week. So I'm super happy about that. And I want to brainstorm what will be on the agenda for August. Okay, I'm about to call my Uber. I actually just filmed a very quick reel spotlighting this waterproof mascara that I wore when we went to a waterfall in St. Lucia, and I forgot it stayed on so well that I like took a selfie, and I made a mental note to myself to film a reel about it when we got back, so I did that. I'm not used to seeing my hair in this type of like sleek messy bun. I feel like I only ever have the chaotic editing messy bun. I don't know, I feel like I look kind of legit, and I'm just wearing this little Cezanne dress that I got last summer. I actually wore this to the Eras tour with a little sequin jacket over it. But yeah, I'm gonna face my fears, aka go out into the heat wave, and I'll check in with you guys a little later. I'm back home, I'm showered, I'm in my Eras tour t-shirt. All is right with the world. It was really hot out today. I did end up being able to walk a good amount of the way back actually, so that was nice just to like be outside for a little while, but when it got too unbearable, I hopped on the light rail. Are my glasses disgusting? If you wear glasses, are they like always dirty? Is there ever a point where you clean them and you're like, they are fully clean? I have had glasses since I think the 7th grade, and I don't know if they've ever actually been clean. I was just finishing up a few things here, getting the podcast uploaded for tomorrow, getting the links for the show notes, and I'm gonna make dinner soon. I think I want to make the lo mein today. I did buy the steak from Trader Joe's. I had the Thai wheat noodles, and then I'm gonna throw in the stir-fry vegetables that are frozen. So easy, so easy. And a little bit of the General Tso's sauce from Trader Joe's too, which I already had in the fridge. Oh, and I did buy some scallions, so I could top it with scallions. I did publish my blog post, but I didn't promote it anywhere, so if we're watching TV later, I might pull out my laptop just to get that out on Threads and also put all of the pins of the photos from that post on Pinterest. And Pinterest has a great feature where you can actually add from a URL. I'm sure I've shown this in some video before. If I can find where I did it, I will leave that one linked in the description, especially if you're new to Pinterest, because I feel like Pinterest seems super intimidating, but there's so many ways to just like repurpose what you already have. And yeah, just want to make sure that gets out, and then podcast promo will happen tomorrow, and hopefully this YouTube video will go up this week too, to be in real time. Have a good run. Okay guys, so I've been editing and reviewing some stuff for the podcast for most of the morning, and I just popped out for a very quick walk because it is about to thunderstorm here, and I saw that New Jersey is actually going to be under a state of emergency for the rest of the day, and I was like, shoot, if I don't get out right now and just go for a quick little walk, I feel like I will then be trapped inside for a few days, and no one wants that. So for my mental health, I'm taking a quick little walk. And yeah, I mean, right now it's actually pretty cool out, but you could definitely like feel the humidity. Like it needs to rain. It needs to rain for sure. Lots of people out here moving their cars off of the streets because most of Hoboken is in a flood zone. So when it rains, it pours here, that's for sure. And yeah, it's just been such a soupy week, but you guys, the weather for this weekend has me so optimistic. It looks like it's going to be beautiful in the low 60s in the morning, going up to like the mid 70s. As someone born during the month of September, that is my ideal temperature for sure. And yeah, it's honestly just been such a soupy and disgusting week, but I'm glad I got to spend it with you guys. It definitely made me feel less alone and more productive. I feel like I got a lot of things done. Anytime I check off the trifecta of blog post, podcast episode, and YouTube video going up in 1 week, I feel like I've done something. Also, I need to remember to continue to take advantage of this mic setup because I feel like this is such a cool vibe right here. And I'm going to end the vlog now, but if you want to hang out again next week, I have some fun plans on the agenda. I'm going to get a rescheduled dinner in the city with my friend Francesca. I'm going to get a haircut, thank God, because this is getting out of control. And it should be a good time. So please be sure to subscribe if you're not already so you don't miss any future uploads. You can even turn on the notifications. Give this video a like, and I will see you all next week.